All right. Time to continue this. Last time we met a dude. What was his name? Wrong memory card. Guys, please stop. No. We can't do this all night tonight. Roger Bacon was the guy's name. So we got a map last time as well. Where are we going next? Oh, you know what? The map serves as a sort of a checklist anyway. Did we get... Yeah, we got the second doll. We also have a blue key. I don't remember encountering a blue door, though. Hello, Evil. How are you? Oh god, there's a tower. Well... I guess we'll just go around and start turning these X's into checks. There's an enemy I don't think we've encountered prior to this. I don't like how it looks. I don't like how it sounds. Well, that was nice. So yeah, the day of shopping was fun. It was nice to get out of the house. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna go do is, I guess, give the dolls back. Because we have both of them now. Has anyone here heard of the game In Sound Mind? It's, I checked out a few minutes of it before I started the stream. It's a first-person survival horror game. I hadn't heard of it until today, so I don't think I would have mentioned it. Just get fucked. That's what that move means. Also, let me check something. We are currently 11 followers away from our 100 follower goal. So I'm hopeful that we will make that goal soon. Also, I know Sky was here when I mentioned this yesterday, but the plan for tomorrow's stream, we're going to postpone Ghost of Tsushima for another week. Because in the morning, well, in the early afternoon, I'm going to do the DLC for Metal Gear Rising and finish that, which will finish the Metal Gear series on stream for now. And then after we finish that, we're going to start the Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, which is a game I've not played for a long time, and I've got an itch to play some classic Zelda. By classic, I mean pre-Breath of the Wild. You know what? GameCube is classic. It's, what, 3 generations old now? So most of it, pre-Breath of the Wild. Well, when you consider how much time went by between Skyward Sword's release and Breath of the Wild's release, it was like 11 years or something like that. Maybe it wasn't quite that long. Skyward Sword. Oh no. Okay. 11 came from the 11 number came from 2011 when Skyward Sword came out. So it was 6 years between the two games. Do I just give them the dolls during the battle? Is that how this works? As you try to take the key away, the mummies begin to speak. Valna says, "Give us back our dolls," and Vigna says, "Run, get away while you still can." Yeah, here, have your dolls. Once you give them the dolls, Vigna and Valna stop moving. You got the green key. You won't need the green key anymore. You throw away the green key. Cool. There better be some good shit in this room. Jesus. So, when I went out with my dad today, he was wearing a t-shirt from one of the YouTubers he watches, which I must say is just amazing. It made me think, what if I have merch someday? What the hell am I gonna put on a t-shirt? Thigh-high boots on a t-shirt? Or are you saying I'm going to have thigh-high boots as merch? It's a very specific kind of merch. I'm not against the idea of of a thigh-high boots merch item. With so you're talking about a shirt with thigh-high boots on them. You in your follower goal outfit. As merch? Like on a t-shirt. Yeah, I gotcha. That goal is what, 500 followers? Is that what I said? You hear a young girl laughing softly. Suddenly, the furniture in the room starts to vibrate, and space itself begins to twist. Well, it's early to be genuinely worried about merch, but it's a future possibility for sure. That didn't do a lot of damage, and now I'm nervous. Alright, fuck. It was just a logo from the channel. I have an idea in my head of what typical tuber merch looks like. Yeah, that's what it do, bitch. What about a Wario mask? I get what you mean, but I don't know if I want what do you mean, like a mask of my face? I don't know about that. Why did he heal the bookshelf? I thought I targeted my friend. Don't let your streams be dreams. That's why I record them. I also showed Dad the trailer for 7 Remake 2 today. He's excited. He's excited for that and for 16. You liked it twice. I don't think that's how that works. Unless you mean you did it on 2 separate accounts. Can we get the magic bookcases away from Koudelka and get her silence removed? You know, if we could beat just one of these things, I'd be happy. You know, at least that they stopped double teaming Koudelka. God, what the hell are these things made out of? Pressure-treated lumber? I don't know why Evil is so hung up on the word piety. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't like pie. I think apple pie is for the birds. Yeah, I'm all set with pie. Now, whoopie pies have the word pie in them, but they are not pies. Dude, I can't do anything with you. Don't heal the fucking cupboard. Alright, he just didn't do any damage to it. Whatever.
Charlotte, do you know what these are?
We gave her the letters.
From your mother.
My mother? Letters? There's so many.
Did you know that your mother was a queen of Hanover? It seems that after you were born in secret, your mother was locked up inside Alden Castle. Even while she was imprisoned there, she sent many letters to you here in the monastery. She never laid eyes on you, but she often imagined what you looked like. She dreamt of the day when she would be able to see you. Her letters never got to you, and she was never told of your death, so she continued to write you letters even after you died. Your mother loved you, Charlotte.
What? No. I can't take this now. She love me? No. It's too scary. Hey, I feel warm. What's happening? No. Help me. You want me to forgive her? You love me? I hate you. Don't pray for me. You.
Charlotte, how does it feel to know you are loved?
I feel like I just took a step towards the good ending. Claire Brooch? Also, why haven't I equipped these? Probably because I didn't know I had them. Looks like there's nothing useful here. Here, I want to see if I can find a trailer for In Sound Mind real quick. Because what I checked out of the game for a few minutes seemed pretty cool.
I am not paranoid. I don't believe in monsters or myths. What I am is a realist. And as such, the world can be a little dark. What is happening to me? What am I becoming? fragile thing the mind is. How devastatingly strange it can be.
Don't you agree, Tanya?
PlayStation.
Looks cool and spoopy. So far, the first, like, 20 minutes were pretty cool. That's all I had time to check out. The opening speech given by an unknown entity that would appear to be the antagonist of the story was quite enjoyable. The opening line is, "Curiosity didn't kill the cat. I did. Curiosity just sent it my way." No. No. Not this guy. Okay, he wasn't so bad. I was expecting him to be a very hard version of that enemy from the beginning of the game. No, what's on the other side of that door? Alright, yeah, it looks like it might just be a shortcut back to a previous area. Yeah, the game does look cool. I'm gonna check it out on my own, but maybe it'll be a future Friday Fright Night. You found a gramophone, but it can't be played as there's no disc inside. The disc begins to play, filling the room with a melody. You found a hidden drawer. Inside it is a book titled Research Notes. Research Notes. September 5th. Wow, 5th? September 10th, 1918. Wow. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, stream's over. Let me try reading this again. I promise I know how to read. September 10th, 1895. Rain. With the monastery renovation completed, I have finally moved in with Ogden and Bessie. It's been a long road since I first procured the Emiger file. Even after referencing literature of all ages, the rendering of the text still remains a difficult task. Though it has been 4 years since I first laid eyes on it, never once has its enigma left the recesses of my mind. Contained in it are countless descriptions of the source of the energy that is the secret to life's existence, the Druid's cryptic experiment taken from the ancient Celts and recorded by Alexander the Great hundreds of years before Christ. Jesus is canon in this game. Branded a forbidden enterprise, it was kept hidden by the Vatican's cardinals in the depths of the Pope's quarters for a very long time. And now I have it in my hands. I have reached Wales, the land referred to in the text. I will fulfill my wife Elaine's resurrection at this monastery, built by Saint Daniel Scotus. Of course, I am aware that my act could prove insolent in the eyes of the Lord. And however people make censor my actions, the love I have for my wife will never cease. I read that word wrong, but I don't care. I ask of you, Lord, to turn your eyes away for a short while. November 16th, 1895. Rain. The more I learn about this monastery, the more eerie the structure appears to me. Ogden mentioned that the hospice had been full of corpses at one time, a few hundred years ago, and I have become aware of an oppressing sense of mortal sin as I walk through the underground passageways. I can feel haunting spirits everywhere. But according to the Emiger file, the power of such resentful spirits are considered the driving force behind reviving the Druid's cryptic experiment. I plan to fill this place with the all-consuming ire of these spirits. Even though I may burn in hell for these sins, if Elaine can be brought back to life, I shall have no regrets. December 5th, 1895. Rain. I found out that the cauldron hidden in the basement held the key to the secret. Even though the book had mentioned it, the well-positioned trick door kept us from locating its whereabouts. The cauldron looks as if it's made of gold. What line did Bruce Wayne say? If Elaine can be brought back to life, I shall have no regrets. Is that the line? But upon closer examination, the surface is so old that one cannot determine how long it has been in existence. I would guess that it is a prehistoric artifact made a few thousand, or maybe even tens of thousands of years ago and left to sit. We must quickly set up an altar and begin preparations for our ceremony. December 16th, 1895, rain. I ordered Ogden to acquire some livestock. 320 chickens and 43 pigs were purchased through a supplier in town. I arranged for ground transportation, but the fog did not help expedite the undertaking. I expect to be busy as soon as the delivery arrives. Animal offerings are an integral part of the Druid experiment. The cauldron must be filled with the freshest blood and flesh. This is where it begins. February 24th, 1896. Rain. The third experiment. Still no response. Even though I follow directions and offer the proper prayers, there are no signs of the spirits gaining any strength. I must return to the book and reread some parts, since I cannot proceed if there has been some misunderstanding of the text. Is there a problem with the way I conducted the experiment, or are the offerings insufficient? Regardless, I need to think this over. Even though I may arrive at a terrifying realization, it is too late to fear anything now. I have come too far to be impeded by fear. I am sure Ogden will understand. March 19th, 1896. Rain. Return from London. The specially ordered carriage seems to be working very well. I have trapped 3 women in the baskets in back. I lured some victims out of an alley in the East End, had them sniff some chemicals and pulled them into the carriage. But since I was not used to my new role as an abductor, it took more time than had planned. I could not have done this without Ogden's help. I am deeply grateful to him. March 25th, 1896. Rain. I am still at a loss. I cannot make up my mind. Even if I can bring Elaine back to life, are my actions forgivable? I balk when presented with this dilemma. By the way, March 25th is my birthday. Bessie has been taking care of the woman I've kidnapped. It's better than them freezing in some corner of London. I hope this small gesture of kindness will be considered as a priori act of repentance. I wonder if my small kindness will have any significance when held up to the horrendous act I am about to commit. March 31st, 1896. Rain. I must make my mind up. I must. April 3rd, 1896. Storm. Dear Lord. I have without a doubt committed a crime no human should have committed. I conducted the Druid experiment using the flesh and blood of the victims. I sensed the incredible energy of the spirits culminate into one when I poured the woman's remains into the cauldron. As I had thought before, it is human flesh that needs to be offered up to fully release the effects of the procedures. What a frightening arcane process this is. The sounds of fury in the woman's death screams have not left my eyes. But I must go on. There is no turning back now. April 12th, 1896. Rain. Once again I perform the procedures. I once again round up 4 victims from London. Even though they are all old, with barely a thing to live for. When I contemplate taking their lives, it leaves me sick to my stomach. It may be due to my doubts that the spirits did not rise to such a powerful strength as before. I may have to use a younger, more vibrant source of energy. The book says to fill the cauldron with energy of haunted spirits. I wonder how many victims the cauldron must swallow to be satisfied. June 5th, 1896. Rain. I do not have enough victims. The saintly presence of Daniel Scotus inhibits us from claiming authoritative power. I've concluded that it will be necessary for us to offer many more lives before we are finished here. I have since found 35 more victims for 7 separate experiments, but the spirits have not responded with much strength. For me to accomplish the resurrection, I am in dire need of the culminated strength of the spirits. I must come up with a way. I must come up with a more efficient way to procure my victims. July 15th, 1896. Rain. I finally received the first shipment of my victims. Ogden was right when he suggested that we should offer the lord of the slave trade an enormous amount of money for this matter. He has no compassion for human life. The victims are not given much information and arrive at the monastery expecting a routine night's work. It is not necessary for us to go hunting for prey in town. With a few sugar-coated lies, there are plenty of people that climb right into the carriage. There is no one that will dare speak of what is to become of them. September 9th, 1896. Rain. Poured the remains into the cauldron. The energy levels in the cauldron have clearly increased, which makes me happy since it proves that I am heading in the right direction. It seems that lately I have become more efficient at performing the tasks required for the procedures. However, Ogden and I cannot expect to become much more productive, as it is impossible for us to hire help, since we must keep this matter purely clandestine. It took you this long to realize that this guy was a little sus? I have decided to place an order for a laboratory table from an equipment manufacturer in Manchester. It will take about a month to make, but once we receive this, we will be able to manage many more experiments. October 3rd, 1896. Rain. Butchered 3 bodies since morning. After lunch, we made repairs to the bell tower of the main church. After dinner with Bessie and Ogden, I butchered 3 more bodies. The lab table has proven its worth. The spirits have certainly increased in strength. At this rate, I may finish preparing for Elaine's resurrection before All Saints' Day. October 14th, 1896. Rain. 6 bodies butchered in the morning. 5 in the afternoon. 1 after dinner. How I have been awaiting this day. Shit, I forgot to read the date. November 1st, 1896. Rain. How I have been awaiting this day. The day to conduct Elaine's resurrection ceremony has finally arrived. The cauldron is brimming with the remains of my victims. This monastery is now consumed by the energies of the preternatorial spirits. Even a saint could not hold his ground against the powerful energy of these hexed spirits. I took Elaine's body, which had been preserved in chemicals for this very day, and placed it on the altar. I then began reciting the ceremonial chant. Elaine, you are still as beautiful as ever. I love you so much. Please forgive me for calling you back from the land of the dead. November 7th, 1896. Rain. What is going on? I have lost all hope. All my efforts and dreams have been only an illusion. The tree of life that grew upwards out of the corpse, as if wrapping Elaine's body, was certainly the manifestation of the druid's cryptic experiments that I had been seeking. If God is capable of creating beings out of nothingness, then this indeed is a man-made example of his work. But to my horror, the image of my resurrected wife, displayed in a flower petal, looked just as she did before. Yet it lacked a human soul. Indeed, it was a monster. Dear God, is this the punishment you have chosen for me? What have I accomplished by victimizing nearly 200 innocent people? My only hope in life lay in believing that resurrection was possible, and dreaming of the day when my wife Elaine would join me here in life on Earth once again. Now I have nothing but a cauldron full of blood and hexed spirits, and a soulless monster. Is this the end that has been awaiting me? Dear Lord, have you no mercy? I only have one path left to follow. I have lost too much. I cannot even find words to apologize to Ogden, who has lent me his strength along the way. Now, I only long to sleep in peace with my wife. Did you get all that? Something's not right. Alright, how about we heal up before we go after a boss. In fact, let's not go this way yet. Perfectly stored away in the old colander. That's a good way to... a good place to put the memory juice. Right in the old colander. Oh, okay. That's where this took us. Outside. I wonder if I can get the sword yet. Somehow I'm not so sure. I seemed to have been missing. The layout of this, unfortunately, evil is nothing like the mansion from Resident Evil. Considering this is a cathedral. Or a monastery, I mean. What's the difference? Do you guys like that voice I was reading that in? I think I might just stream in that voice. Alright, well, all of a sudden we've got access to a lot of new rooms. Oh my god, when... I'm gonna get lost. I won't be able to stream this as long tonight as I did last Tuesday, because I need to go grab something for dinner. And the store closes at 8. So I can stream this till like 7:30. Yo, we got the J ring. The door is being held shut by some mysterious voice. Some mysterious voice. I realized something that made me laugh while I was reading that. I named an item the J ring earlier, but J-A-Y. It turns out there's an actual J ring in the game. Must be a hidden door in this wall. Well, how do we get to it? Looks like you can move the statue if you try. Yes, we found the fake. You found Roger Bacon inside the secret library.
I know it's around here somewhere. Well, what took you so long?
Roger,
The mummy
I
that was
haven't...
in the coffin? Since when have you two been acquainted?
I am no mummy. My name is Roger Bacon, and I'm just like any normal old man.
Hey, I've been around for 20 years, and I have yet to run across an old man as abnormal as yourself.
I see. Well, I've been around for 600 years, and I've seen plenty of abnormal people just like myself.
My dear old man, might you be related to the great warlock Roger Bacon, who made such a name for himself in the 13th century?
You are very knowledgeable. I am that warlock, Roger Bacon, you speak of.
You mean to tell me that you were born in 1210 and have remained alive and well until the present date of 1898?
Actually, to be precise, I was born in 1214.
Koudelka, what type of a joke is this?
That's my question.
This is no joke. I am the reputable Roger Bacon.
Very well then. If you were truly that Roger Bacon, then you'll be able to tell me with whom and where you studied.
Oh, that's easy. I entered Oxford in 1247 and studied under the tutelage of Robert Grosseteste. Although a good professor, I would not consider him to be a wise man. I penned my masterpiece, Opus Maius, as well as numerous other books on natural science. Being a visionary pioneer, I must say that my work has influenced generations of work that followed. But alas, in hindsight, that work pales in comparison to the work I did copying the Immigré document for the Pope.
The Immigré documents. I figured you would know about that book.
Of course. It took me 5 years to copy the book in its entirety. I know everything there is to know about the book.
What is it about?
Oh,
Is
it
it...
unravels the secrets of life that expand far beyond the largest field. It speaks of the secret rituals conducted by the ancient race of Fomors on immortality. The Fomors would claim the lives of the resurrected as their own. They reversed the laws of nature and the cycle of life. When the Druids took over the Celts, Alexander the Great penned the Immigré documents in Greek for placement in the Great Library.
Resurrecting the dead.
Oh,
It is true.
The document has long been considered the most dangerous work of literature. It was safely guarded in the caverns of the Supreme Pontiff's quarters. But apparently, the book was not able to withstand the wears of time over generations. And the Pope decreed that a new edition be created by copying the full text. That is where I came in. The Pope requested that I copy the book word for word. And when the work was finished, apparently, I was supposed to be killed. But I am not one to be dealt with so carelessly. I secretly escaped, and eventually I made my way to the sacred land referred to in the text of the Immigré document.
And the secret rituals? Don't tell me.
You need look no further than myself.
And you succeeded.
Though I cannot perform the same on others, yes, I have been able to escape the hands of death. But I have not been able to escape the roots of existence, which are the seeds of change. My body is not immune to change, as you can see by my hideous appearance. I've had nothing to do other than roam the earth for the last 300 years. I've seen all I can take of mankind's cruelty. So, I returned here for some rest. Well, enough of this gossip. I've got some research to do. May I ask to be left alone?
There's no reason this game's voice acting should be as good as it is. For comparison's sake, I'm going to show you some choice scenes from Resident Evil.
Don't scare me.
That's what I was going to say.
But just take a look at this. It's Forrest. Oh my God.
It's awful.
I'm going to find out what caused Forrest's death. It looks like he was killed by a crow or something.
That was the actual voice acting from the game. I love Resident Evil 1. But God, is its English dub... Well, its only dub. Awful. I mean, it's hilariously awful. I'm sorry, but Fatal Frame 1 has better voice acting than Resident Evil 1. But yes, Fatal Frame 1's voice acting wasn't anything all that great either. Oh yeah, I've showed that clip off before. That clip always comes to mind when I think about Resident Evil's voice acting. That animation perfectly captures just how bad it was. Yo, I think we just got a bastard sword. I mean, it was called B sword, but... Alright, I guess we have to go fight the next boss, so let's go do that. Or it was a bitch sword. Could have been that. You see a portrait of a young woman. The frame reads, "My dear wife, Elaine." And we got into a fight with a floor tile. No, Genova. I can tell you exactly what we're looking at. This is the dude's wife that he brought back to life. I'm guessing. Alright, Sky. Have fun at your meeting. I think James is dead. Here, James, have some whiskey. Sorry, not James. What's his name? Edward. I can't use Roman nuts during battle. I love how grotesque this thing is. Let's try to keep Edward alive. This thing sounds like N64 Bowser when he... when he attacks. Edward is the bait right now. And I'm just gonna keep pumping him with steroids. Magic steroids. What do you think this thing smells like? Keep pumping him up, dude. Look at that. Now he's up in the hundreds for each hit. And we got her. We got her, boys. automatic pistol. It's too bad I don't use weapons in this game. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to, but I've gotten by quite well without them so far. Who knows, maybe I'll regret that. Alright, well that clears out this room. Let's go check out that door that's open now.
So this is Elaine.
Yes. She's the one I had the psychic vision of. Do you doubt it?
No, indeed.
Good. Let's begin.
What are we doing?
It has been a long time indeed, Mr. O'Flaherty.
Oh, Elaine, is that really you?
Yes, it is. It is such a pity that we meet again, and I can only present myself to you in this form. This is the woman that responded to my voice, is it not? Thank you for doing this for someone like myself.
Elaine, I haven't yet come to terms. Please tell me how this happened to you.
Of course I will explain. James, 18 years ago, I was murdered by some thieves that broke into my home. I was helpless. Both Patrick and Ogden were out on business. There was nothing that anyone could do.
I will not accept this. This should not have happened.
Yes, Patrick responded the same exact way. He could not accept my death. He spent years and years perfecting his craft in wizardry and tried everything in his power to bring me back to life.
Resurrecting the dead? Is this for real? Hey, we're not talking about Frankenstein here.
Frankenstein?
That novel written about 100 years ago?
He was taking it very seriously. And he had found the key to actually make it happen.
The immigrant document.
Yes. With Ogden's assistance and the powers from ancient druids, he held a resurrection ceremony in this monastery.
But something went wrong, didn't it?
He only resurrected my physical body. As you can see, my soul is still doomed to roaming the universe, forever separated from my body. And the terrifying thing is that my body was resurrected as a heartless monster.
Monster?
Although the monster may look like me, it is not me. Mr. O'Flaherty, please turn my body into ashes with your power.
Ashes? But if I do that, we won't be able to bring you back to life.
Mr. O'Flaherty, I was robbed of my life by those thieves, and I could hate them as mortal enemies. Choose to think that my death was preordained by the Lord. Please, do not mourn my death. It was wrong for Patrick to try to resurrect me, to undo the work of God. Please, do not be sad. Death is at the heart of God's reasoning. I urge you to destroy my body. Its existence defies the wise providence of heaven. It mustn't exist in this world.
Wait! Elaine! God! Curse! cruel world. I gave everything for your happiness, and now what am I left with? I have no meaning in my life. Damn it! What have I been doing with my life? Elaine! Elaine!
Damn. Oh, no. I didn't mean to. I don't want to. Alright. Let's go see what's on the other side of that door. What should I have for dinner tonight? I'm contemplating something chicken related. What kind of chicken? You find a scroll with a picture of a dragon. Above the dragon it reads Hestia. If you remember correctly, that means Earth in Greek. I don't know. Fried chicken? Maybe? Hestia. Okay. Like the... Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon character? There's a fire burning in the hearth. Picture of dragon, the word Hestia, and a fire. In a hearth. Throw the dragon in the fire. Yo, I can finally put acid in the bottle. You found Patrick's memo. Time for more reading. Does that make this a good trip? It's about to be. Patrick's memo. Note written by Patrick monitoring his weight over a period of several weeks. According to it, Patrick weighed more or less 70 kg. Or kilograms. Roman nuts. Rifle rounds. You see a fireplace, there is no fire burning. Do you remember the word Hestia written on the scroll? Perhaps you should investigate the fireplace. There's an opening beneath the fireplace containing a ladder that goes underground. Do you want to go down the ladder? Not yet. Alright, yes, I want to go down the ladder. Define good trip. Excuse me. Are you happy? I would say that this game has been a pretty good trip. Get fucked. Do not play around with Edward. I feel like my characters are coming along nicely. You found a scale with a counterweight attached. By adjusting the counterweight, you can change the balance of the scale. 70 kilograms was written on Patrick's memo. Maybe you should adjust the counterweight to that weight. There's nothing out of the ordinary here. Wait, what? Okay. I feel like I'm not getting what's going on with the scale here. Gotta convert kg to C. What? That doesn't make any sense. What the hell is C? That doesn't... That's not a... That's not a... I'm gonna say, that is not a... Yeah. Set it to 69. The door won't open. It looks like it's been designed to open using a trick mechanism of some sort. I guess I'm just not getting this, or I don't have the full solution. Okay, I'm going to assume that we do not have the full solution and move on. And by that I mean move back. Hold on. Wait a minute. You see a scale. When you step on it, it points to 45 kilograms. Oh. I think I know what to do now. Oh, throw an item away. God damn it. Do I... Throw away the Mystic Hammer, because it sucks. Anyway, if we set this to 25, it should be the solution. Found a tinderbox. God damn it. Does that count? Good. Okay. You have to find a way to dispose of Elaine's body. Maybe you'll be able to find something inside the main building. Oh, okay. You mean like a flamethrower? We must be getting close to disc 4 by now. Can't imagine this game is too much longer. Edward is gonna take a bullet. Never fucking mind. This motherfucker shot right through Edward and still hit Koudelka. Skills that slay the bills? Yeah. Something like that. I'm gonna end up just throwing away all my melee weapons, I think. Does the feedback button do again? Click on it, and it'll tell you. It's experimental, but I don't think anybody's actually used it yet. Anyway, it's 7:30, right on the button, so I gotta end this here. I know it wasn't as long as last Koudelka stream, but we made progress, so that's fine. It limited the nice things I could say about the stream. What do you mean limited? Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with Metal Gear and Wind Waker. So, until then, au revoir.